It was Home Depot earlier in the week that said it was going to spend a lot more money on salaries, wages, I should say, for its employees. Dollar General now is doing that as well.
Yeah, Julie, long overdue with these retailers finally starting to pay their workers some real wages that you might actually be able to pay your bills on. So today it's Dollar General. They're out today with a $15 million, what they're calling an appreciation bonus. And that will bring their second half investment in appreciation bonuses to $100 million. It's unclear how much each worker is getting as part of this appreciation bonus. But to your point, Julie, you saw Home Depot out yesterday. They are investing $1 billion in raising wages for their workers. I asked Home Depot how much that will take the minimum wage up in their stores. They didn't want to tell me. So Glassdoor gave me that number, $11 an hour the average cashier makes per hour at a Home Depot. So Costco is continuing to pay its workers more, $2 more an hour, somewhat what you would call pandemic pay, but I go into a lot more. I just had a story on Yahoo Finance hit on this. Click on it, read it, share it, because it's actually a feel-good story.
Yeah, definitely. And it's interesting these various retailers are moving before we see legislation on a national level on this. By the way, it's not retail workers who make the least in the United States. It's fast food. If you look at the per hour wage that folks make.
Here comes the $20 Big Mac, Julie. It's coming. It's time.
Ooh.
You got to pay these fast food workers.
Another group that's maybe saving more of their money. Small businesses who deal with Apple. Apple rolled out something today called the App Store Small Business Program. And if you're a developer who earns less than $1 million in annual sales from your apps, you can qualify for a reduced fee on the App Store. Most developers are paying Apple 30%, and that's a number that's come under a lot of scrutiny and a lot of criticism and some legal challenges. Now you only have to pay 15% if you're a store of that size. So this is sort of a concession seemingly on the part of Apple. I don't know if how much it will get them sympathy or get the controversy away from them with regards to the App Store, but it's an interesting gesture that they are announcing here today, Miles.
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, when in doubt, you say we're supporting small businesses, the backbone of the economy. So Apple, I think, knows it has a problem here with the App Store. I'm not really sure how they're going to get out of it more broadly, but this is certainly a step in a direction to maybe take a little bit of the heat off, that behavior they've developed there. And I think behavior that certainly bears close watching.
It is. Let's stick with tech, Miles, because you and I have been debating a new feature on Twitter, and it's called Fleets. It sort of appeared out of nowhere, right? With not a lot of fanfare. It's basically Instagram stories, but on Twitter.
It's Instagram stories on Twitter, which were Snapchat stories on Instagram, which goes back to Snapchat. By the way, LinkedIn also now has a stories feature, which I know absolutely no one was looking for. Look, I think fleets are fun. I think they're great. I mean, I use Twitter as my platform of choice. I lurk on Instagram a little bit, mostly just to watch Sam Rowe's TikToks that he posts on his Instagram story. So it's sort of a derivative play. I don't really care what else is on Instagram. So I find the fleets fun in the first day. I think it's also important to look at the fleet rollout, which you mentioned, Julie, is kind of out of nowhere. Engagement based on the people I follow has been okay. And remember who the CEO is and the agreement that CEO just reached with some activist investors who were in Twitter. The street was disappointed by the number of active users that Twitter signed up. And you basically have two levers that you can pull as a social media company. You can get more users or you can engage your users more often. Fleets are very obviously a play at the latter. Twitter needs to find out a better way to monetize the users they have because they don't really grow users at the kind of rate that I think the street wants to see. And if Jack Dorsey wants to keep his job, he's going to need to start pulling the levers on monetization and engagement a little bit more aggressively, a lot more aggressively, to kind of keep everybody happy there. Long-term investors in Twitter still not happy. This was a $70 stock a couple of years ago, but I think fleets are very fun. I think the name is fine, and I look forward to tweeting more often.
Miles, what are they called on LinkedIn? Linkies? What do you got for me? Come on.
I don't know. You go ask your friends over at Microsoft. They'll tell you.
All right, I'll give Satya a call.
I'm definitely going to complain about fleets and probably use them. I don't know how many new users it'll get them, but it'll probably take us further down the rabbit hole for those of us who use it regularly.